Most people try to attract others by talking more, proving more, chasing more, but attraction doesn't come from effort. It comes from energy, and there are 6 simple words that instantly change how people feel around you, not because they are magical, but because they reveal something rare: confidence, calm, and self-respect. Listen closely and use them at the right moment. Most people think attraction is something you do, something you perform. They believe if they say the right thing, wear the right thing, text at the right time, smile in the right way, then someone will finally choose them. But listen carefully. Attraction does not come from doing more. It comes from being more. And being more does not mean being louder, more available, more entertaining. It means being more grounded. That's why these 6 words are not a trick. They are not a pickup line. They are not a manipulation tactic. They are simply a reflection of your inner state. And when your inner state is calm, centered, and complete, your words carry a different weight. You can say something simple, even ordinary, and it lands like power. Because people don't fall in love with your sentences. They fall in love with the feeling they have around you. You see, the world is full of noise. Everyone is trying to prove something. Everyone is trying to impress. Everyone is trying to get attention. And because of that, attention has become cheap. But presence is rare. Presence is expensive. Presence is magnetic. The moment you walk into a room with stillness inside you, you don't need to fight for energy. People feel you before you speak. That is the first lesson. Your energy arrives first. Your words arrive second. So when I say these 6 words are frequency, I mean they carry a signal. They say, I am not in a hurry. They say, I am not afraid of silence. They say, I am not trying to earn my place. And that is what attracts people, because it's the opposite of what they see every day. Most people come with hunger, with tension, with a need to be filled. But when you come with fullness, people become curious. They lean in, they want to understand you, because you are not pulling from them. You are not demanding from them. You are simply standing in yourself. This is why attraction is not about chasing. Chasing is panic, disguised as effort. Chasing is saying, please don't leave me. Even if you never speak those words, your behavior says it. Your fast replies, your double texts, your long explanations, your emotional essays, your constant availability, all of it communicates one message. I need you to feel okay. And that message, no matter how sweet you try to make it, carries pressure, and pressure kills attraction. Now let's be honest, many people don't want to hear this, because they confuse attachment with love. They confuse intensity with connection. They think, if I don't fight for this, I will lose it. But the truth is, if something requires you to lose your dignity to keep it, it was never yours to begin with. Real connection does not demand self-betrayal. Real connection respects your boundaries. It respects your time. It respects your pace. And if it doesn't, then what you are calling love is actually fear. So these 6 words matter because they interrupt the old pattern. They interrupt the neediness. They interrupt the over-explaining. They interrupt the emotional chasing. They force you to return to your center. And when you return to your center, you stop speaking from anxiety. You start speaking from choice. And here's the beautiful part. The words themselves are not what changes everything. It's the person you become when you can say them and mean them. Anyone can repeat a sentence, but very few people can carry the energy behind it. Very few people can stay calm when they feel uncertainty. Very few people can stay respectful when they feel ignored. Very few people can stay quiet when their ego wants to react. That is discipline. That is strength. And strength is attractive because it is safe. People are drawn to what feels stable. Think about it. When someone is unpredictable, emotional, always needing reassurance, always creating drama, you may feel addicted, but you don't feel peaceful. You don't feel safe. But when someone is calm, grounded, and clear, your nervous system relaxes around them. You start to trust them. And trust is the foundation of attraction. That lasts. So if you want to attract anyone, stop trying to be impressive. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to be more. Instead, become still, become solid. Become someone who doesn't rush to fill every silence with words. Because silence is not empty when you are present. Silence is full. Silence has power. Silence shows confidence. And that's why these 6 words are a frequency. They come from a person who knows I don't need to chase. I don't need to beg. I don't need to convince. A person who knows their value does not announce it. They live it. They embody it. They move through the world like they belong. And when you belong to yourself first, people naturally want to belong near you. So remember this, attraction is not built by trying harder. Attraction is built by becoming calmer. And calm is always magnetic. Most people don't realize it. But the very behaviors they think are attracting others are often the exact things that push them away. We live in a world where people are constantly performing, trying to prove their worth, trying to impress, trying to make themselves look more desirable. And in the process, they forget the most important thing, themselves. They forget that attraction is not about effort, it's about energy. It's about how you carry yourself, not how much you chase someone else's attention. When someone begins to feel insecure, they start over-explaining. They give too much information. They try to justify their actions, their thought, their feelings. They text too much, respond too quickly, double-check that the other person is happy. They want validation so badly that it leaks out in every message, every conversation, every interaction. And what do people feel? Pressure. Anxiety, a need to fix the situation. Attraction is killed because the energy is inverted. Instead of drawing someone in, you are unknowingly pushing them away. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who seemed to need you too much, who constantly needed reassurance, constantly sought your approval, constantly checked if they were doing enough? And no matter how kind or patient you were, there was this weight to the interaction. That weight is exactly what pushes people away. It's not that they don't care. It's not that they are cruel. It's that when someone carries neediness, it communicates imbalance. People are wired to respond to balance, calm, and confidence. They are drawn to people who are whole, not people who are incomplete and asking for pieces of themselves. Be filled externally. Most people fail to see that attraction begins long before words are exchanged. It begins in the subtle energy we radiate. When you are constantly trying to be liked, trying to be accepted, trying to prove your value, your nervous system is sending signals. The other person feels it even if they cannot put it into words. That nervous energy screams, I am not enough. I need you to fix me. Please stay. And the irony is, the more you chase, the less likely they are to stay. It is a paradox, but it is true. Effort without centeredness never attracts. It repels. The reason so many people fall into this trap is that they confuse attachment with love. They confuse intensity with connection. They believe that if someone doesn't respond immediately, or if someone seems distant, they must do more, prove more, give more, chase more. But love, real connection, does not demand that you abandon yourself. It does not require that you sacrifice your peace for someone else's presence. Real attraction respects boundaries. It respects calm. It respects confidence. And if the other person cannot meet you there, it is a reflection of them, not of your worth. When you stop seeking approval, when you stop over-explaining, when you stop trying to fill every silence with words, something remarkable happens. People start noticing. Not because you are louder, flashier, or more exciting. They notice because you are complete. They notice because you have a presence that doesn't demand anything. You are no longer a source of anxiety for them. You are a source of calm. And that calm is magnetic. That calm is attractive. The challenge is that most people are addicted to the opposite. They are addicted to drama, to chaos, to the false sense of security that comes from constant validation. But that addiction destroys attraction. Attraction is not built on need. It is built on stability. It is built on self-respect. It is built on the unshakable belief that you are already enough, that you do not need to earn someone else's approval to feel whole. And when you embrace that truth, your life changes. You stop reacting to every delay, every message left unread, every moment of uncertainty. You stop letting your worth be dictated by someone else's behavior. You stop chasing, you stop performing, you stop explaining. And in that space, in that stillness, attraction appears naturally. People are drawn to your energy, not your words. They are drawn to your calm, not your panic. They are drawn to your completeness, not your emptiness. So understand this clearly. You do not repel others. because you are not enough. You repel others because you forget your center. You lose yourself in trying to be liked. You forget that attraction begins from within and that your energy is always louder than your words. The moment you reclaim yourself, the moment you stop proving and start existing fully in your own presence, you become magnetic. You become someone others want to be around, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. And being whole, calm, and grounded is the secret that most people never discover. Attraction begins when you remember yourself first. There is a simplicity to attraction that most people completely miss. They think it has to be complicated. They think it requires effort, strategy, charm, or perfection. But the truth is, the simplest words, spoken with the right energy, can create more magnetic pull than any long speech, fancy gesture, or overthought plan. That's why these 6 words matter so much. They carry weight because they carry presence. They work not because of their literal meaning, but because of the energy behind them, and because very few people can actually deliver them with authenticity. These words are not a line, not a trick, not a manipulation. They are a signal. They are a signal that says, I am calm. I am complete. I do not need to chase you. I do not need to prove my value. The 6 words themselves, I'm good, take your time, are simple, but simplicity carries power when it comes from a person who is centered. Because most people respond to need, anxiety, and urgency all day long. They are used to people performing for attention. They are used to people proving themselves constantly. And when someone steps into that space and simply says, I am good, take your time, it creates a shockwave. It interrupts expectation. It breaks the pattern. It forces the other person to slow down and take notice. The first effect is curiosity. People want what they cannot rush, what they cannot control. When someone is chasing, they are predictable, and predictable energy loses its magnetic pull. But when someone is steady, calm, and confident, it triggers an instinct. Humans are wired to notice completeness. Humans are wired to notice energy that is not dependent. And these words communicate exactly that. They communicate self-trust without arrogance, ace without distance, strength without aggression. The second effect is respect. Most people do not realize this, but respect is the foundation of lasting attraction. You can have initial chemistry, you can have temporary infatuation, you can create desire through drama or urgency, but those things fade quickly. Respect lasts, and respect comes when someone sees that you are not desperate, that you do not collapse under pressure, that your self-worth is intact no matter what the other person does. By simply saying, I'm good, take your time, you are setting a boundary without being confrontational. You are saying, I have value, I know my pace, I honor myself. That energy is magnetic because it is rare. Most people do not honor themselves in their interactions. Most people trade dignity for attention, trying to earn what they already have inside. The third effect is calm. There is a reason people are drawn to those who exude calmness. When someone is frantic, needy, or emotionally unsteady, it triggers tension. When someone is grounded, composed, and patient, it triggers safety. People are attracted to safety. They are drawn to what feels stable, what does not threaten their peace, what does not demand anything extra from them. And these words, delivered without over-explaining, without apology, without panic, communicate that energy perfectly. You are showing not only that you trust yourself, but that you trust the process. You are showing that you are not in a hurry to PR of anything. That patience is more attractive than urgency is something people forget every day, but it is true in every interaction. And here is the critical point. These words must come from authenticity. If you say them with doubt, with impatience, or with hidden need, the effect is lost. People feel energy, not words. That is why repetition does not create attraction. Acting does not create attraction. Only authenticity creates the attraction. Only being fully present and grounded creates the magnetic pull these 6 words promise. When you say them and mean them, you are saying more than words ever could. You are communicating self-respect, strength, patience, and calm. You are showing that you are someone who belongs to yourself first, and anyone who enters your world does so by choice, not demand. These 6 words also create a pause, a space for the other person to step in naturally. They remove the pressure of performance the frantic energy of chasing, and they allow interactions to unfold organically. That space is what people crave without even realizing it. Most interactions are cluttered with over-texting, over-explaining, over-emoting. Most people cannot handle silence, cannot handle patience, cannot handle someone who is confident enough to step back and wait. But that is the energy that builds true attraction. Remember, it is never the words themselves. The words are only a vessel. The energy behind them is what moves people. The words are rare because few can deliver them with authenticity. And when you do, you shift the dynamic entirely. People notice, people respect, people lean in. They are drawn naturally, effortlessly, because attraction is always built on presence, not performance. So the lesson is simple but profound. The 6 words are a frequency, a signal, and a declaration all at once. They say, I am enough. I do not need to chase. I can choose and I can wait. And that is the energy everyone is unconsciously seeking. Magnetism always comes from choice, calm, and presence. Timing is everything. Most people want to think that attraction is about what they say, but the truth is, it is also about when they say it. Even the most powerful words lose their effect if they are delivered at the wrong moment. The energy behind words is what carries the magnetism, and energy always reacts to timing. You cannot create attraction by speaking from impatience, frustration, or desperation. If you want people to feel drawn to you, you must learn the rhythm of interaction, the pauses, the silence, and the subtle signals that tell you when it is your moment to speak. The 6 words, I'm good, take your time, work because they are deployed in situations where most people would panic, overreact, or chase. Imagine someone delays a reply or becomes inconsistent. Most people interpret this as rejection and respond with urgency. They text again, they call, they over-explain. They fill the silence with noise, thinking that the louder the why are, the more they will be noticed. But what really happens? The energy becomes needy. The person they are trying to attract feels pressure, tension, a subtle discomfort, and attraction starts to fade, not because of what they said, but because of the timing, energy behind it. Using these 6 words at the right time reverses that dynamic. When someone hesitates, when someone tests you, when someone delays or acts inconsistently, the instinct is to chase. But instead of chasing, you pause. You step back. You allow silence to exist. Then, with calm and clarity, you speak these words. I'm good. Take your time. You are signaling patience, composure, and self-respect. You are showing that your energy does not depend on their approval. You are demonstrating that you have a life, that you are not frantic for validation. And timing amplifies this effect because the moment is charged with tension that your calmness diffuses. Timing is also about restraint. Most people do not realize how powerful it is to wait. They think that if they pause, if they stop messaging, if they give space, they are risking losing the person. But the opposite is true. When you give space at the right moment, when you speak after a pause, when you respond with calm authority rather than urgent emotion, you create a magnetic tension. You are no longer chasing, you are inviting. You are no longer performing, you are existing. Timing transforms the interaction from one of imbalance and anxiety to one of intrigue and respect. Another aspect of timing is emotional regulation. If you feel the impulse to respond immediately, to react emotionally, to prove yourself, that is the exact moment you must pause. That is the exact moment these 6 words carry the most power. Why? Because people are wired to notice stability and composure. They notice when someone can maintain dignity under uncertainty. They notice when someone's energy is steady rather than reactive. Timing allows you to communicate that your presence is deliberate, your words are chosen, and your energy is not dependent on external circumstances. It is also important to recognize the natural rhythm of human interaction. Most people rush their attraction. They want results instantly. They want reassurance immediately. They want confirmation of interest before it has had time to develop. But attraction cannot be rushed. It builds in pauses, in subtle exchanges, in moments where people can feel each other's energy without being overwhelmed by need. Timing is the scaffolding for this energy. These 6 words work so effectively because they respect the natural rhythm of human connection. They are not forced, not hurried, not desperate. They arrive in the perfect moment to communicate calm, self-respect, and presence. The truth is that timing is an extension of self-control. It is about knowing your value, holding your space, and trusting the process. You do not speak from fear, from urgency, or from insecurity. You speak from a place of completeness, patience, and clarity. And the energy created by that timing is magnetic. People notice it.